Hey honeys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. So today I just wanted to come on here and talk a little bit about Walt Disney World reopening and just kind of my thoughts on that and just some more information and all of that good stuff. So without further ado, let's just get into it. Alright, so first off, I just want to kind of introduce myself. If you have watched any of my Disney related videos in the past, then you may already recognize me or know who I am. But if you are new to my channel, hello, welcome. My name is Michelle, and I was supposed to be taking part in the Disney College program for Fall Advantage of 2020. Unfortunately, of course, with everything going on, my program was canceled. I was supposed to be there from May until January, and obviously I am not there. And we also just heard recently that the regular fall program, which was supposed to be from August until January, has also officially been canceled. So now we are just awaiting to see if the Spring and Spring Advantage applications will be coming out, which typically drop at the end of August, usually like from mid-August to the end of August. We really don't know if they're actually going to be doing the program. We're keeping our fingers crossed, of course, that they will be, because for all of us who had our programs canceled, we're hoping to still be able to take part at some point. So we are just kind of hoping and praying here that they'll still have the programs happening next year and that we can apply. So please just keep good thoughts out for us. We are really wishing that this happens. And yeah, we're just all pretty bummed out that we're not getting to take part. And so now spring is our next hopeful opportunity. So as someone who was supposed to be taking part in the DCP or Disney College program, and as someone who just loves Disney, of course, I have been keeping pretty up to date on all of the park opening procedures and just all of the guidelines that are coming out and all of the information that goes along with the parks being reopened officially. So of course, as we all probably know, Florida has been a pretty crazy hotspot recently for new cases of the coronavirus, and it has been pretty scary to see how quickly all of that has inclined there, just because I was there in May. When I was supposed to start my program, my boyfriend had already gotten off of work, and I'm currently out of work due to the virus. So we just decided to still go to Florida and just kind of make a little trip out of it. We didn't really do anything. We just, stayed inside and hung out. We did go to Disney Springs a few times, but that was it. And that was right before all of the cases got super high there. That was when, it wasn't as bad to be in Florida. A few weeks after we got home was when all of it started getting really intense and just kind of scary. So I've definitely been watching all of that, and actually when we were in Florida is when we got the news that Disney was going to officially be reopening. So it was really exciting to see that it would be reopening. Of course, now with how high the cases are, it is a little bit scary knowing that the parks are, as of now, officially reopened and that guests are going to be going in and all of that. So I definitely think that it is exciting that the parks are reopened, and it does feel, like things are kind of getting back to a somewhat normal, because I don't know, I feel like when Disney does something, that's how I know what to go off of, if that makes sense. I feel like if you're a Disney fan, you know what I'm talking about. If you're not a Disney fan or not as big of a Disney fan as I am, then you probably think I'm just sounding absolutely crazy right now, which I probably do, but you guys know what I mean. So anyway, so once I saw that Disney was reopening, it just kind of felt like a weight was lifted off of my shoulders, because it just felt like things were going to be okay, like things were going back to normal, like things were getting better. So I was very excited to hear that Walt Disney World was reopening. And as I'm filming this today, like I said, all 4 of the parks are officially reopened. And I've been watching a lot of Disney vloggers and people that are visiting the parks. All cast members so far are the videos that I've been seeing. And honestly, the videos have been showing the parks to look really safe. I don't know how it is now that the public and guests are going in, but seeing the cast members in there, it's looked pretty safe, honestly. I mean, there really looks like there haven't been that many people. All of the masks have been enforced. It is, of course, mandatory to wear masks there, and they are doing temperature checks, and social distancing is required as well. So I have seen different vloggers showing that cast members that are working are enforcing the mask wearing policy, even for the cast members that are visiting. Of course, it is mandatory for everyone, including cast members that are visiting. So it's been really nice to see that they are taking all of those safety precautions and that they are making all of these things integral for the reopening, because honestly, if those rules aren't followed, I don't want to see the parks get closed back down again. I don't really know how that would work, because I guess it's kind of up to the governor and just kind of the government within the state of Florida, because I know that, you know, like Disneyland postponed its reopening and stuff. So I guess it really just depends on the state and the government officials and what they say. But honestly, I just hope that if everyone follows the rules, then this can be done safely. And I truly think that if people do follow the rules, that it can be done that way. Of course, with guests coming in and, you know, different people from all over, it might be hard for some people to understand that they are the rules. So I'm just hoping that as the general public starts coming into the parks, that the cast members are still going to be working just as diligently to enforce all of these rules, so that hopefully this can be done as safely as possible. I just think that, like I said, it's wonderful that the parks are reopened, because it just feels like a little bit of normal. It's just that sense of normalcy. So I think it's great, but it won't be great if people aren't following the rules and things just keep getting worse there. So since I am just a huge and big Disney freak, and we're usually doing something Disney related, whether it be a park or Disney Springs or whatever, usually around 4 to 5 times a year going to Florida, a lot of people have been asking me if I plan on going to the parks anytime soon. And honestly, I have definitely thought about it, but just seeing how bad the cases are in Florida, since I don't reside in Florida, I just don't think right now it's the safest for me to travel there. I was actually supposed to be going to Florida in August. In just about 3 weeks, I was supposed to be traveling there, and I don't think that's going to be happening anymore, just because of how crazy spread it is there right now. I, do live with my mom, and I've been social distancing from like everyone, even my family, but my boyfriend is still working, and my mom is social distancing as well, but we're going into stores and stuff, so I don't want to accidentally contract it and either pass it on to my mom or give it to my boyfriend and he takes it to work, or me or my mom take it into a store or something, you know what I mean? I don't want to be that person that has that, pressure lying on me just because I wanted to go to a Disney park or just because I wanted to travel to Florida. So like I said, when we were there back in May, yeah, of course, coronavirus was still a thing, obviously, but it wasn't as widely spread there. And also, like I said, we weren't going to parks or anything. We were just hanging out inside, and we went to Disney Springs, but that wasn't like really interacting with people. So yeah, I don't think that I will be going to Florida next month just because of how bad it is there now. I really don't want to have that pressure of possibly contracting it and, perhaps being asymptomatic and bringing it back home to someone. I don't know. So yeah, I don't think I'll be there next month. But I am supposed to be going in October, and I am definitely going in October actually as of now, because I do have a pageant to compete in October. So I will be there in October, and it's just a matter of whether I'm going to be going to the parks or not. I truly do think it's kind of all going to be up in the air on whether or not it's still as bad in Florida at that point. As of right now, I am saying yes, I will be going to the parks then. Like I said, all of the videos that I've been watching and stuff of vloggers inside the Disney parks, they've all been saying that it's seemed super safe. The cast members are doing everything that they possibly can to ensure that it is a safe and enjoyable time for every guest. So as long as that continues to be applied into every person's visit, then I think that it can be safe. I've even seen a few people, like quite a few people, say that have already been back into the parks that it feels safer in a Disney park than it feels walking into a grocery store or, a big major store like that. So I definitely think that my mindset as of right now is that October will be the next time that I will be going into the parks. I actually am going to be purchasing my tickets soon and just kind of playing it by ear from there. If, like I said, it still feels unsafe, then I probably won't be going into the parks, even though I'll already have my ticket. But I just want to make sure I'm prepared for that time now in case I, do feel safe enough to go into the parks. So yeah, I mean, I definitely am excited to get back there, and I can't wait to feel that magic again. Of course, things are very different. You know, there's not going to be character meet and greets, and a lot of places are still closed. And, you know, I don't think they're doing like fireworks shows or anything like that. And, you know, all these different policies and everything are in place, and it's going to make the experience very different. So since I do visit Disney World so frequently, it's not a surprise to me, like all of the magical stuff that happens when you go into a park or even a resort or anything like that. So, you know, going to the parks now and not having all of that stuff is just like, okay, that's fine because I'm used to all of the other stuff already. But for a family that may save all of this money and may have been planning for this trip for years, I don't know if this is necessarily the time to do your trip, only because, you know, you're not going to have that full experience and it's not going to be as magical as it was before all of this happened. So I personally think, like I said, that I'll probably be waiting a few months before I go back to Florida or enter one of the Walt Disney World theme parks. And, you know, my recommendation to people that have trips planned, like I said, if this is your big trip that you've been waiting for and looking forward to for so many years and have been saving up money for so many years, I don't know what Disney's policy is right now as far as refunding or, you know, postponing your trip to a later date, but I just think that this experience right now is going to be very different. And so I think you have to just keep that in mind when you're trying to plan your trip. If you already had tickets purchased, then you're trying to figure out now when the best time will be for you guys to go back, when it's going to be, you know, the appropriate time for you guys to do your trip still. Or if you're in the works of planning a Disney vacation and you're not sure if now that the parks are open, it's the right time to go back. I just honestly think if you're someone who frequents Disney a lot, then, you know, sure, like why not? If you feel safe going, then that's fine. But I think that if it's going to be your first time visiting the parks or the first time your kids are going to be seeing the parks or something like that, I just think maybe waiting till a later date so you guys can have that full experience. As far as character meet and greets and stuff, like I said, they don't have that happening currently. I don't know when they're going to be bringing that back, but I have seen from all of the videos that I have been watching, all of the Disney vlogs, like I said, there have been a lot of characters kind of out, so you're not allowed to go up and just kind of like personally one-on-one interact with them, but they are out and about. They have them kind of going in floats, like one at a time down different walkways in the parks, and I saw some like on boats in the water at the different parks. So I think that they're still trying to incorporate all of these different ways to make the experience and the trip magical for people, but it's just still not the same, and I'm not sure when it'll be the same again, honestly. So a lot of people have also been asking me what my plan is now that my college program has been canceled. I touched on this briefly in another video talking about the DCP being canceled, but I'll kind of reiterate it here and also add in some new information. So like I said, we are kind of just keeping our fingers crossed and hoping, wishing, and praying that the Spring at Spring Advantage programs will still be taking place starting next January. Like I said, we just really don't know. Kind of everything is all up in the air right now. I assume we will be knowing something shortly about those programs, just because, like I said, the applications for Spring and Spring Advantage do usually drop, you know, sometime in August. So we should be hearing something about that fairly soon, but who really knows? Honestly, no one can kind of really predict what's going on right now. And if the parks continue to operate at limited capacity, they just may not need to bring new cast members on currently. I know if you go onto the jobs, like the careers website for Disney, they are not currently like looking for new people to hire or anything like that, of course. So I don't know what that's going to mean for future cast members. In the last video, I talked about how we were all kind of wishing, like the Fall Advantage people were wishing that perhaps they could bring us on with the regular fall program because we would have been there during that same time anyway. But of course, like I mentioned, the regular fall program did also get canceled. So obviously now everything's just kind of like, we don't know what's going on, and we don't know if there's going to be some type of special like push through for us for the upcoming semester, since obviously the program was canceled out of no fault of our own. So we don't really know what's going to happen. You know, there's a lot of speculation and a lot of people have different thoughts and ideas of what could happen or what should happen. But honestly, nothing is set in stone until we get that official letter from the Walt Disney Company telling us what the next steps are. So kind of back to what I was saying about how people keep asking me about what my next plan is now since my program got canceled. I still plan on working for Disney at some point. So I am supposed to be graduating at the end of this year. And honestly, kind of thinking about it, like, I don't know if I want to do the program after I graduate. You do have up to a year. That's what it has been. I don't know if they're going to change anything now with everything going on. I don't really know. But as of currently, you have up to a year after graduating to still take part in the Disney College program. And so I will be graduating at the end of this year. So technically I would have until the end of next year to do the program, or if I go back to school, I can always do it then as well. But as of right now, I would have until the end of next year to do the program. And honestly, I just don't know if I want to do it after I graduate. I'm an online student anyway, so doing the program while I was still in school just kind of made sense for me because I could still do school at the same time. A lot of people take time off, and that's why doing the program after graduation makes a lot of sense for people, because they're like, okay, I can still finish school on time, do the college program for 6 months to a year, and then go get a real job. But for me, it just made sense to kind of do it while I was still in school. So I don't really know if I'm gonna do the program or if I'm gonna just try to go right into like a part-time or full-time position. I don't really know. I guess it's just kind of all up in the air as far as when they're actually going to even be looking for new cast members, either, you know, just DCP participants or regular cast members, like part-time or full-time, and also, you know, what they're going to be looking for, because if a full-time position comes up that I'm like not qualified for or something, obviously I can't apply for that. So I guess it just really depends. There's so many factors that go into it, but I definitely do still plan on working for Disney at some point. That definitely is part of my plan. So it's just really a matter of when now. And yeah, it is super unfortunate that, you know, we're not getting the chance to take part in the program, but of course we all understand why. And yeah, now it's just, like I said, a matter of when the right timing will be. All right, guys, so that is it. That is just kind of like my opinion on everything that's going on, whether or not I feel that the parks are safe to go to. Like I said, to kind of reiterate, right now, I personally don't feel safe going into the parks, and honestly, I'm kind of happy that they didn't call me down to go take part in my program right now, because I just don't know if I would feel completely safe working at a park right now. And I just feel like if you do feel safe going, but it is like your first time going or your first time for your kids to get to go, it's just not going to be the same. So I don't know. I feel like, yeah, you know, it's still magical. It's still Disney World, but it's so different, and it's such a limited version of the Walt Disney World that we all know and love that it's just going to feel very different. So I don't know. I feel like I said, October is when I'm supposed to be going into the parks, so I'm just hoping by then I feel safe to go into one of the parks. But like I said, some people that have already been in the parks say that it feels safer than a grocery store. So I think it's just really all up to the person's discretion. Like, it's all up to the own, you know, your own mind and what your thought is on everything. But that's just my thoughts and opinions on everything. That's also kind of where I see myself with the company now, since I'm not doing the DCP currently. And yeah, I just hope that the college program does happen in spring, because, you know, like I said, I'm not really sure what my plan will be with working for the company, but I definitely do still plan on applying for the Disney College program if the Spring and Spring Advantage applications drop, because I think I will, you know, take part if I get accepted again for spring. I just think I'll probably do one program. Like, I always planned on doing like my first program and then extending into a second program. I'll probably just do one program this time, you know, if I get to take part in spring, and then try to get a full-time position after that. So I don't know, we'll see. I guess there's just so many variables that need to be factored in, and just so much that goes into all of this. But yeah, I hope that if you guys are getting to go to the parks soon, that you have so much fun. Please stay safe and wear your mask, social distance, just do everything that you're supposed to be doing. So not only, one, can you make the cast members' lives easier, but also two, you can just make the time enjoyable for you and everyone else involved, because by you following the rules, it just gives everyone else the opportunity to get to have fun and get to experience the magic. And if people aren't following the rules, number one, it's gonna make the cast members' lives miserable, and they work so hard, so please cut them some slack. But also, number two, it's just, you know, it gives the potential that perhaps, you know, maybe the parks won't stay open or something. I don't know. So just don't ruin it for everyone. Please follow the rules and just do what needs to be done so that everyone can have a safe and fun and enjoyable time. I know everyone has different opinions on the masks and the virus and social distancing and all of that, but please, if you are going to be visiting the parks during this craziness, then please, 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 please follow the rules so that everyone can have fun, because the rules are in place for a reason and they're there to protect you and everyone else. And it's super important to just follow the rules, because if not, it's not going to be a fun time for anyone. So if you have a problem with the rules, then just go at a later date, because, you know, the parks will be opened to some capacity of normal again in the future. And so if masks bother you or something like that, just, you know, I don't know, they're there, it's a rule. So if you're not comfortable with wearing a mask, then I just recommend, you know, postponing your visit. But that is all of my opinions. Of course, none of these opinions are in any way, shape, or form affiliated with the Walt Disney Company. Like I said, I just want everyone to have a fun, safe, and enjoyable time, and I just hopefully will be able to experience the, you know, making of magic. I want to be able to make magic, you know, for guests. As much as I want to go back and experience the magic as a guest, can't wait to go back, but I also cannot wait to be a cast member and make magic for people, and I just can't wait. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. Let me know in the comments down below, are you planning on going back to the parks anytime soon? How do you feel about the reopening? Do you think it's smart that they are still following through with the reopening with how high the cases have gotten over there? Are you feeling safe or unsafe with, you know, thinking about planning on going to the parks again? Just let me know your thoughts. I would love to hear from some other Disney people. Were you supposed to be taking part in the college program, whether it be for fall or fall advantage that got canceled, or for the spring people that got sent home? How are you feeling? Are you still planning on applying? I want to get to meet all of you guys and just hear what you're thinking and what all of your own thoughts and opinions are. So let me know in the comments down below. Also, let me know if there are any other videos that you guys would like to see. Obviously, I'm not going to be in the parks for at least a few more months, so there won't be, you know, any Disney vlogs. Actually, I have another vlog from a little while ago that I really need to edit and put up, so hopefully there will be another Disney vlog soon, but no current Disney vlogs will be going up soon. So if there are any other Disney videos that you guys would like to see, please let me know. I do have some in mind, so I will be filming those soon, and I will see you all on the next one. Bye.